How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to talk to you today about 5 different billionaire backed SPACs. So try to say that 5 times really quickly. Just kidding. But you should definitely take a look at these. Stay through to the end because each of these has their own role. They're in all different industries. I've talked about a lot of these before, but I think it's important to revisit some companies that we talked about a while ago and just to quickly go over them. Now, I'm not going to spend 5 or 10 minutes on each of these because there are 5 of them, so I'll just give you a quick rundown of who backs it, what they're looking to do, where the stock's been, and kind of what I'm thinking about going forward. If you guys like this, please leave a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Today we have a Wi-Fi outage right now where I am, so I'm using my wireless hotspot on my phone, so everything is super slow. It'll probably take me hours to actually upload this. So if you want to give some love, you can hit the like button. Also, hopefully you get this in time to see that there's just through the end of the day to get those 4 free stocks through WeBull. This is the last day. They told us that they're running this 4 free stocks if you deposit $100. Sometimes they make this a little bit longer, but I would definitely do that now if you want to get in on that, because usually they just give 2 free stocks. So you can get 4 free stocks. It's guaranteed to be at least $21 and up to $3,700. So if you deposit $100, you're guaranteed at least a 21% return just in a few days. It does help out the channel too, and I actually really like their platform. I use them for a lot of my growth investing, especially in SPACs, because they have pre-market and post-market trading hours. They have a nice news section and comment section. I really like it, so definitely check that out. And last thing, if you want to see when I'm buying and selling stocks, you can check out the link to Patreon down below. We're almost at 1,100 Patreon members, so definitely take a look at that. And if you get in one of the higher tiers, we are going to start live streaming, so definitely check that out too. So the first company on here is one that I've talked about a decent amount. The first one is Pershing Square Tontine Holdings. Over the last month, they've been trading a little bit sideways, but they're up about 8%. This is backed by a couple different billionaires. So this billionaire was investing pretty heavily in this. He's dubbed the next Warren Buffett. He revealed that he had $400 million in this SPAC. Now, the person that started this SPAC and that is kind of running it is Bill Ackman. He's a very well-known Wall Street guy. He is a hedge fund manager and has provided some pretty good returns over the last year, making billions of dollars on a pretty slick credit swap type scenario. It's kind of hard to explain, but he was able to really take advantage of the pandemic and be able to get a good return. Now, he is looking for a mature unicorn, so a company that has good cash flow, is hard to get into, has a high barrier of entry in that way, and already is in a business that is highly profitable. So he has a handful of different stipulations for what he actually wants to get, but he wants to buy a small part of the company. They are the largest SPAC ever in terms of how much money they've raised. So they have about $4.5 billion to work with. So they've looked at Airbnb, Chick-fil-A, some other companies too. So this one, we don't know who they're merging with yet. You're just buying this because of the investors. Now, that being said, the one billionaire invested and bought about a tenth of the company. Bill Ackman is the one that's running it. So they actually have a couple billionaires. And this company actually started off at $20 a share instead of the normal $10 for a SPAC. The next company is LGVW. And if you haven't heard about this company, it is merging with Butterfly Network. And this is an interesting one because Bill Gates was an early investor. So this is a company that has mobile ultrasound units. This can be very beneficial to areas of the world where you can't bring in a giant cart for an ultrasound, or just for mobile doctors that don't want to spend all the money for an ultrasound unit that you would cart around. This is much cheaper. It's pretty high tech and it plugs right in your phone. It seems like the 21st century version of an ultrasound. Now, this company is bought by ARK Invest, so ARK Invest owns a decent amount of it. They are run by Cathie Woods. They're a big, disruptive mutual fund company, ETF company. One of the original backers of this was the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So they have actually bought a decent amount. They're one of the larger investors in the company, and Fidelity is also listed as a backer too. So they have a couple different things going for them. Over the last month, they have moved up a lot because it was announced, I believe, that they were going to merge, and it went from about a $10 company all the way up about 55%. and it was up around $17 a share, kind of traded down a little bit now, but I think as we get closer to the merge date, it probably will go up a little bit. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own research, but that's an interesting one to take a look at. The next company is VGAC. This one has moved up a little bit here. You can see over the last month. This company is going to be run by, or this SPAC is run by Sir Richard Branson. He is a very well-known investor, billionaire. He is the founder of Virgin Galactic. He's done well in a lot of different business. Now, they are looking at possibly getting into the EV space. They haven't given a lot of foresight into what they're going to do, but Sir Richard Branson has said they wants to go into the EV space. So this is one to take a look at. A lot of the time with these companies, they don't want to give back their money because if they don't find a target in 2 years, they have to give back the original amount. So for this one, it's $10 a share. So a lot of them don't want to have to do that after they've already raised the money. So that's something to consider. The next one is IPOB. This is a company that's moved up a lot. They are going to merge with Opendoor, and that's happening very soon. You can see just over the last 3 or 4 months, they've moved up 135%. Opendoor is similar to like a Zillow or a Redfin. They help you buy and sell homes online. I think a lot of people will have to do things similar to Opendoor, or will have to use companies similar to Opendoor if they're trying to invest from a long distance away, because you're doing that without seeing the actual place that you're buying. So I think Opendoor would be a good company to go with for that. And I realize too that as we go along and as we get more comfortable using the internet for different things, people might be buying and selling homes online in 5 years. And they have in their investor presentation a much better explanation for what's going on and why this company is kind of cutting edge. So you can take a look at that. I've done a video on it before if you want to check that out. The next company is BFT, and I really like this one. I bought it just today. Bill Foley is to become the chairman of the newly combined company's board of directors. So with each of these, it's a little bit different where the billionaire comes in, but they do have $500 million also from Fidelity National Title Insurance, Chicago Title Insurance, and Commonwealth Land Title Insurance. So that is something to consider. They do have some big backers. I like this company. I've talked about it a good amount recently because just last week they announced that they were going to merge with PaySafe. They've moved up 40% from then, and it's been pretty much a straight line, honestly, up. But they are a really interesting company. They're similar to like Square in that they're a payment processing company that runs a lot of transactions. They're expecting over 100 billion transactions, or $100 billion worth of transactions, I should say, next year. Now they're around 90 billion in transactions. Now, they do have just about 1.5 billion that they're expecting in revenue next year, with just under $1 billion of profit. So this one is one to consider. I really like it. I have bought a significant portion of this company recently, and I don't plan on selling it for a while if I actually sell it. I think that this is a company that will continue to grow. It's in the iGaming sector, so it's a very high growth sector, so it's one to definitely take a look at. They're expecting a little bit lower compounded annual growth rates for revenue and net income than some of these other companies like an EV, but this company also already has a very strong base and has a lot of revenue and transactions already going through it. So that's something to consider too. So a little bit less growth, but a little less risk too. I really like it though. I think it's undervalued as of now. I just wanted to present these to you and kind of talk you through 5 different companies that were backed by billionaires, because a lot of the time I think they get kind of lost in the weeds, and I believe personally that if a billionaire backs a company, especially with an investment, I think that shows a lot. Now, it's a little bit different if they're just a billionaire that's starting up a SPAC, because that's just a really good way to make money, honestly, right now. But again, they don't want to waste their time. They're billionaires. They can probably make, $5,000 an hour, or at least probably more than that, probably like $100,000 an hour or something like that, maybe even more if they do live events. So they don't want to waste their time with companies they don't think will do well. So definitely take that into consideration. They also have to keep up their appearances, and some of these billionaires are just trying to make the world a better place, and they're doing that through their companies. So definitely take a look at these companies. Thank you guys so much. Again, if you want those free stocks through WeBull, today's the last day to get the great bonus of 4 free stocks. Also, check out the link down below to Patreon. And if you want to see my second channel, I actually updated it and I'm doing videos on there a little bit more often now. We just passed 1,000 subscribers, but we still are not monetized. We need to get enough watch time. So definitely check out the link down below to that if you want to see that. Or if you want to just search it, it's My Financial Friend 2. If you can't find it, just search by channels. You can filter out everything else and it's just channels. Definitely check that out, but there is a link in the description. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Let me know which of these companies you like the most, and I will see you in the next video. If you want to see some different SPACs that are around $10 a share, you can definitely check out this video here. I just made it. Thanks.